Hi, I'm Ryan, a pastor from Chicago. And if you're like me, January is the time when you're asking yourself, how am I going to grow as a preacher this year? Well, I'd like to invite you to be a part of a 6-week cohort coming up on preaching through sermonmapping.com. Sermon mapping is a new way you can grow your preaching, and I developed it a long time ago when I started preaching. I had everything to learn, and I thought, well, how can I grow? What I did was I created a sermon map. On the left, there's the 50 different things we can do as pastors, every one of our options. And then I broke them into 3 lanes: explanation, illustration, application. And then there's timestamps at the top through the sermon, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 minutes. So if you start out your sermon with a prayer, that's line 4. Then let's say you read your passage, that's line 5. Then you start connecting. Then you drop down and you share a personal story, that's line 26. This is how a sermon map starts to take shape. When you map your own sermons, you learn where your time is going. Then you can start to ask, how do the most effective preachers lay out their sermons? And you can look at their maps. So check this out. This is a map of John MacArthur preaching 1 John 5, 1-5. Of course he loves to explain the text, which is why he spends a lot of his time up here in this lane. What if I went to the same passage, 1 John 5, and found another well-known preacher who preached the same exact passage? Well, this is Chuck Swindoll. Same Bible passage, but look how his map is different. He explains the text, but he spends a lot more time illustrating it as well. And there's many different ways he does illustrate the text. Check this out. This is John Piper. Same passage, 1 John 5. Look at how his sermon map shows you how he uses every single minute, and every dot shows you everything he does. You can also see his structure up here is point 1, point 2, point 3. That's on line 2. And then what about Tony Evans? Same passage, 1 John 5. Look at how we can learn from these effective communicators of how to get down here into the application lane, and once you're down there, what to do. You put 4 well-known preachers together, you compare their maps, and you get 4 awesome ways to preach the same passage. Now, I don't know what you want to grow in next year, but sermon mapping can help you to make every minute count. So why don't you go to sermonmapping.com and sign up for the 6-week cohort that is starting soon. I'll see you there.